Oh, I acted like I was ready. I started the camera. I'm not even ready. Am I ready? I guess I'm ready. I guess let's start. Okay. What are we doing today? Okay. Oh, the camera's crooked. Okay. Greetings all, and welcome to Dave's Craft Room. And on today's video, we are making a unicorn quilt for a little girl. And as a matter of fact, at this point, you should know, I made Bobert his Star Wars quilt. I made his wife, Tina, her Nightmare Before Christmas quilt. And now I'm making their daughter, I'm not gonna say her daughter's name, I might as well say their last name at that point. I'm making their daughter a unicorn quilt, which is exciting for me because I love unicorns too. Unicorns are so authentic. They're not afraid to be who they are, just like me. And first of all, I'm always very pleased to get a repeat offender when I make somebody a quilt and then they come back and want another one, because that means they were pleased with the first one. So obviously they liked my work and they now want one for their daughter. I will make one for their son too, but stay tuned, because that'll be later. So I asked Bobert when he came to me with this idea, I said, do you think she would like a big, huge unicorn, or would she like more the dozens of small patchwork unicorns? He was like, well, I could see how she would be very impressed with a huge unicorn, but I can also see how she would enjoy looking at all the different ones that you could put into it. So I said, great, I'll do both. And so the idea is I'm gonna have a centerpiece. It's not gonna be in the center. I'm feeling a very asymmetric vibe for my unicorn journey. But there's gonna be like a centerpiece and then patchwork all around it. So this is my unicorn fabrics. I just went online and got unicorn fabrics. I literally just Google fabric. And that's all I literally do. And I buy what looks good. So, and what am I gonna do for the centerpiece? This pattern is called Unique-orn Quilt by Helen Creasy, AndSewI. Copyright July 2022, that's probably not important. This is a foundation paper piecing pattern. It's 30 by 40 inches. Let me actually bring the pattern up on here. And the original one that you can see on the screen is showing, okay, update. It's showing like whites and beiges and grays for the actual unicorn. I don't have that many of those colors, so I think I'm gonna try to make it pink. Pink should definitely work, right? I mean, it's a pink unicorn. You can't go wrong with a pink unicorn, I think. Let me get the pinks. I just grabbed all my solids. These are like pinks and purples. And this is another one. These used to be in order. They're in an order. We'll do white though. We'll do white and then the shadows will be in pink. This is the instruction page. So where did I put the papers? Oh. I printed it out, and then these are labels, fabric labels. This is for swatches. I don't typically do the whole swatch situation. That's a lot of work for something I'm probably not gonna use. The last time I did this, people had a lot of suggestions in the comments. And it's like, thanks, I appreciate it, but like, you can't tell me anything. Like literally ask any one of my friends or family if I could be told anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do it the way I'm gonna do it, so thanks, but I'm gonna do it the way I'm gonna do it. I'm actually not confident that this is gonna look good, I'm sorry to say. I almost wonder whether purples and blues might be good in between. Yeah. Yeah. That might be the move. Oh, the reason I say that this is the move is because I can get more of a gradient. Yeah, this is the T. This is the T, hunty. Okay. We are taking a risk, but I've taken bigger risks. You know, I often try to visualize in my head In this particular case, I am not able to visualize it. I do not have a clear image in my head at all. So we are going to take a leap of faith. But if it's ugly, I can always come up with a plan B. You know, when I made the wolf quilt, I was confident that I had selected the right colors, even if I couldn't necessarily judge it all that well then. I am not confident in these colors at all. Let's think about the horn. Hot pink mixed with blue, mixed with a different hot pink or purplish. So these are the horn colors. These are H1 and 2. The mane has got to be rainbow. I wonder if I should choose a print rather than a solid. Let's take a look. A print though, would that look good? We might just let God decide. Yeah, we're doing blues. Blues, but they cannot verge into the teal land because teal land clashes with the purple. You know what I like to do when I don't know what to do, which is right now, because I have no idea which colors these are supposed to coordinate with. We are just gonna embrace the chaos and let God decide, because the quilting goddesses, that is. I just feel like you can't go wrong. It's a unicorn's mane. This is the unicorn's mane. So, you know, it can be whatever colors I want. I'm gonna probably film doing a couple of the foundation paper piecing pieces, and then I'm probably gonna get sick of filming and I'm gonna shut the camera off. It can be a little bit tedious, and I already know I'm not gonna feel like filming, so you'll get the idea. You know what I mean? You'll see some of the pieces done, and then it'll cut and you'll see them all done. I pieced them off camera. So let's go ahead and probably get started by, wait, what's the B? Oh, the background. Okay, what's going on in the background? Yeah, there's no reason why you can't just do like a couple colors for the background. I'm just gonna choose 2 colors for the background and do that. All right, I've cut out like half the shapes. I don't feel like cutting anymore, so I'm just gonna proceed. And then I'm gonna cut the rest out as I go, as I get to the one that needs cut out. I do this every time. Let's try to alphabetize these. A Q. The background in the pattern had many colors in it, but I thought it would look good with just 2 colors as well, and we get a unicorn in outer space because I chose a dark blue solid and a night sky fabric. The pattern has the chunks numbered for each color that it called for, so for me to change it to only 2 colors, I just decided that if the number was even, I would use one of the background fabrics, and if it was odd, I would use the other one. And if 2 odd or 2 even numbers were side by side, I didn't piece the same fabric to itself. Instead, I just used a bigger chunk of fabric to cover both sections. This was technically a shortcut, but I really liked the night sky background, so we got to take a shortcut and we didn't have to compromise on the look. Here you can see me piecing the horn of the unicorn using the foundation paper piecing method. This video is not really a tutorial on the method, it's really more of a time-lapse video. So if you want to learn the technique, I'm going to put a link below to Mixed Domestics video tutorial on how to do FPP. There was so much intricate piecing of this unicorn, but it actually came together pretty quickly. I find that FPP can come together quickly, maybe not at first, but once you find a rhythm. That being said, I did need to take breaks from doing the FPP from time to time, so I would do a few sections of it and then work on another part of the quilt and come back later. So here I'm preparing the rest of the unicorn fabrics that I found online, and I'm cutting them into squares to make up the outside portion of the quilt. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. I make videos like this where I make a whole quilt project in one video and include time lapse of the project, and I publish every other Tuesday. gosh, it actually lays flat. It's incredible. Usually when I get to this point, I find that they don't lay quite flat, but today we're laying flat, so that's fantastic. Let's sew all the squares up, all the rest of the blocks. Hopefully they kind of fit once they're sewn together. And that's it for the quilt top. All right, this is the quilt top done. The unicorn's name is Enigma Thorngood. And I have a polyester batting. So I am doing this tabletop method of sandwiching my quilt. The reason is this quilt is small enough that I don't have to move my living room furniture out of the way like I often do when I sandwich a quilt. I can just do it right here on the table. I have a polyester batting. For the mom and dad, Tina and Bobert, I used cotton batting, probably 80-20 I think. And that was good because they told me that they like a heavy, thick blanket. For this child, for any child, I probably wouldn't want to use like anything too heavy or too thick because I'm not trying to cook the child, you know what I mean? Like I don't want her to inadvertently overheat in the night. So this polyester batting is gonna be good, and then struggle to get this batting to lay flat because it is so light that, you know, a heavier one would more easily lay flat. It'll be fine, I'll sort it out. I'll flatten it. What am I doing here? I am basting this even though I don't have the back layer on, and that's because I know very well that that is going to be so slippery against this polyester batting that I want to baste it on 2. So that's why I'm basting this in 2 rounds. I believe that is going to be my best bet to getting the backing flat. I hate when there's a pucker in the backing. It happens. It's not the end of the world, but I do not like it. I do not like it. Sam, I am. So that's why I'm doing it this way, and I hope it works. I've never done it this way before. Obviously, it should work. Why wouldn't it work? I'm just like working out the kinks under the batting by kind of pulling on it. But it's not the end of the world either because I want this to be kind of a fluffy quilt. It's going to a child, right? So I feel like a child, you kind of want a fluffy quilt. Almost kind of like a comforter. This is the girliest quilt I've ever made, surely. I mean, it has to be. Obviously, the quilt is meant to appeal to a very specific taste, namely that of the young girl that it's going to, and I'm certain that it will appeal to her. So that's what really matters. I've got the backing here, and I kind of half basted the top and batting together, and I just plop it down on top of the pink backing. I did it that way because I've already cut away the batting from the sides of the quilt top, and that's because I'm gonna fold the backing over to be the binding. That's really the easiest way to do a binding in my opinion. If I try to cut the binding away afterwards, I always cut through the backing binding and put a hole in it and mess it up. And then I have to come up with some hodgepodge way to fix it. So I'm trying to avoid that this time I've already cut the backing away before I've even quilted it. Look at that, it is laying so flat. Now let me pin baste this, if I can even find my safety. Okay, I'm gonna pin baste this. It has to be perfect. So this is the final result. I am so pleased with the way it turned out. I love the vibe of the unicorn against the outer space night sky and all the little unicorns around the outside. And I gave it to Bobert in time for him to give it to his daughter for Christmas, as well as a quilt for his son as well. And that video will come out soon, so stay tuned. Anyway, thank you for coming to Dave's Craft Room. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and please come again.